So at Crocodile1P for Crocodile One Piece, at Crocodile_1P, Twitter handle right there, wrote an article for Medium regarding Vic Mignogna. It says on Twitter that they think it's important for everyone to read what they wrote, that the message is important. Now, for the record, I think this is a stand with Vic leaning article, but I'm really not sure. I haven't read it yet. First time I'm going to read it is right now with you guys. So we're going to take a look at this article together, see what it's all about, and you know the deal. You know the deal. Not the first rodeo we've done reading a I Stand With Vic or KickVic article. Let's see what it's all about. I'll see you in just a moment. All right, taking it from the top. Repairing the broken staircase. A few words about the hashtag KickVic movement. So right away, if you're not familiar with what the broken staircase is referring to, one of the first articles, especially one of the more comprehensive ones to have come out about the Vic Mignogna situation, was actually titled something along the lines of repairing the broken staircase. And they referred to the broken staircase as something that people whisper about. When everyone's going up the staircase, people will whisper to watch out for the broken stair in the middle, and they refer to the Vic Mignogna situation as that, basically. That it's this open secret that everyone knows about, but no one does anything about it. It's a weird analogy, but that's pretty much what it means. At least that's what I believe it means from what I read into it and all that. Anyways, continuing. A subjective inside look of a Me Too movement with the potential to change an entire industry and community at large with a message for all. Editor's note: this op-ed needs to be read in its entirety. I am personally not encouraging any sort of things to go on to anybody. The purpose of this is for change in the community and a call for action and unity. Okay, so is this a neutral article maybe? Let's take a look. Has a picture there, obviously not in the archive link. Back in January on a cool Friday night in Texas, the article goes on to read, I, along with a few friends, went to go see Dragon Ball Super Broly. As a huge anime fan, especially Dragon Ball and One Piece, who would have guessed the One Piece one? This was the first anime movie I had ever seen in theaters, and to be honest, I don't regret going to see that movie. I rarely go to the movies, but when I do, I go big. I make sure that I always have a good time, from getting the popcorn and drinks to having the best seats in the house. I always ensure that I get it good. For DBZ Super, I went hard. As a result, I enjoyed, in my opinion, one of the best anime movies in my life. Little did I know on that quiet Friday night in January, the curtain was about to rise to a new major drama, and this time, I would have a front row seat to a major battle that would decide the fate of an industry and a community. It's a pretty intense way to start the article there. But yeah, man, this whole situation will definitely affect the whole industry and community, in my opinion. Community at large. Before I begin this op-ed, I would like to make something clear and concise. I am a part of this movement. The movement known as KickVic. Whoa, okay. I joined the movement for one reason alone. I wanted the anime industry to reform current practices behind closed doors. I wanted to ensure that everyone can be safe, have fun, and to work together for the better. I am just a fan at the end of the day. This has nothing to do with SJWs implementing political agendas, conspiracies, nothing of the sort. This whole situation has been a nightmare for me and my friends since January. I hoped the fighting would stop. The constant attacks on not just these voice actors, but to the fans and other professionals at work. I really hoped that things would come to an end. Instead, things have gotten worse. Well, you know, you can't just hope for things to come to an end magically, right? They need to resolve in ways, and that's what's happening. We'll see how it continues to play out. I didn't want to do this, and I don't have to express anything. However, I was compelled after seeing a few things on social media within the past few weeks. For those of you who don't know or have been busy with your life to even care, Vic Mignogna, a voice actor who has voiced anime characters for the past 2 decades, was promptly fired and dismissed from Funimation and Rooster Teeth in January 2019 for implications. Whoa, hold up a second. Sorry about that. This not only caused a shockwave through the anime community, but also sent a clear message that any sort of transgression of the sort will not be tolerated. Since his dismissal, Vic has filed a defamation lawsuit against Real, Marky, Real's fiance, and Funimation Productions. Nick Requeda, a lawyer who practices in Minnesota, created a GoFundMe to support Mignogna for current and future litigation. At the current state of the case, the defendants, Marky... I mean, for one, I don't think that's why Requeda... If I recall, I don't think that's why Requeda created the GoFundMe. It wasn't necessarily about defending Vic specifically. More so as it was... Well, I don't want to put words in his mouth. You'll have to go look for the clips. I just don't think that's entirely accurate. Anyways, at the current state of the case, the defendants have filed a TCPA motion to dismiss this case, and a hearing has been set for September 6th. For those of you who don't know, the TCPA is a statute that protects the safeguards of constitutional rights of a Texas citizen to speak and associate freely without fear of litigation, intended to restrict the ability to speak freely, reference TCPA. Basically an anti-slap, Texas's version. As the community embraces for another potential shockwave, recent actions on the movement known as KickVic has me second-guessing the motivations of KickVic. Ooh. Well, this is starting to get quite interesting, isn't it? Sure, Mignogna's gone from the industry, but what about other Vics in the industry? What's the immediate aftermath of this court case? How is the community going to get better? What about Funimation? Are companies ethically responsible for knowing about atrocities and not taking dedicated measures to prevent this from happening? To understand and answer these questions, it's important to look at how the movement got here. KickVic, or hashtag KickVic on the social media platform Twitter, is a movement that was created when Kaylin Cicero, a former employee of Channel Awesome, and goes by the name ArmsGirl, unintentionally started the KickVic trend on Twitter after another Twitter user, Hanleia, asked why Funimation employed a known you-know-the-word. As the year has gone on, Cicero has been an advocate of not only removing Vic, but also other potential dangers towards the community. I, for one, agree with her cause. Her current actions I can also agree with. What are her current actions? However, her past actions bring into the spotlight if she is best suited for the situation such as this. After doing some research on Cicero, I found some disturbing audio in which she states that when a person screams something bad is happening to them, she says, ha ha ha. And yes, that's right, you are indeed 3/5 of a person, referring to the 3/5 compromise, a resolution during the formation of the USA in which 3/5 or 60% of the slave population was counted for taxation and representation purposes. For the record, I've heard this audio myself. I think Mars Girl has apologized for it. I'm not saying that means anything. Personally, I think it's a very hollow apology, but you'll make your own opinion on that. While she has since apologized for these actions, as an African-American male whose family originated from Eastern Africa, I highly take offense to these comments and imagine the reaction and outrage you would have gotten if this was said in today's climate. In fact, let me go a step further. Imagine if I had said the same on the same video podcast episode, just a second, Mars Girl. What's even funnier is that at the time, a woman like yourself was considered property. So why the heck are you talking? Do you know how much backlash I would have faced then and now? Consider the words you use as well. And for the record, I don't consider Mars Girl or any property to be owned, worked, or treated. Okay, continuing on. It's a lot of Mars Girl stuff here. Also, the podcast or episode should have never been recorded if this was going to be the end result. Mars Girl has even brought up an event in which she witnessed someone being transgressed by Vic. I really hope you didn't laugh at the victim or any victims involved in the situation, because if you did, you would really should find another industry to work in. Okay. Another face of this movement. So I guess that part was a bit wordy. I don't like talking about Mars Girl or a number of these people on KickVic because I just find them creepy, to be honest. They creep me out. But they're making a good point, you know. Mars Girl started the hashtag, as the editor is implying. Well, not implying. The implication is that she's not really the best qualified person for what she seemed to have been doing. And I guess that's a pretty fair assessment. Another face of this movement is Shane Homburg. Oh boy, KickVic is in trouble if people are considering Shane a face of their movement. Homburg, a native of Dallas, Texas, who has operated anime conventions I have never even heard of until 2019, had some interesting words for the opposition. Remarks that were quite bad, to be exact. Let me elaborate. Shane Homburg, a man who has been running conventions on the side of the past 28 years and a senior system engineer for a large corporate real estate company doing random stuff, reference here, came under fire within the last week for posting a tweet that was liked by Monica Rial, who later unliked the tweet. Ooh, this is interesting. I didn't know about that. Immediately, he was called out, not only by me, but others as well. The tweet was deleted, and the next day, Shane made a public apology. However, instead of just saying, I apologize for my actions and I should watch what I say on the internet, he essentially doubled down on his words. In addition to this, Shane Holmberg has started to promote a new convention, ShadokuCon. Ooh, we're going to be talking about that in today's live stream. This convention, or in their own words, a conference, will occur on May 23rd through the 25th, 2020. The primary purpose of this convention or conference is to promote and usher a new era of enthusiastic consent. Link to the tweet here. For the record, I looked into this already quite a lot. It's so loosely defined. There's so many issues with that word, that new term. But the biggest issue, in my opinion, is how loosely defined it is. And some people aren't as expressive as others. It's a very intolerant thing. Very intolerant, if you guys want to look into it. But maybe the article will talk about it some more. So let's take a look. Going back to the article. This convention is toying with a dangerous concept which could impact future conventions of any kind. A conference that promotes the idea of consenting to almost every action you perform. The whole point of a convention is to have fun, not ask permission to just get a photo or an autograph. The point of a convention is to have a good time, not consent to inconveniences that will limit the experience of a convention. While I agree that all conventions should improve safety measures, have better training and awareness of different situations, and the implementation of a new reporting system in which reporting any issues without being pressured to do so, being watched constantly for just trying to have fun, not only destroys the mood of the convention, but makes interactions less cool and unique as well. There will always be a few people who will cause trouble or do something inappropriate. It's human nature. You can't prevent every single actor or reaction. However, those few shouldn't affect an entire convention or community. Seriously. Okay, I do gotta say, this article is talking a lot about specific KickVic people and not so much about the whole situation, which is interesting. But I feel like we spent a lot of time talking about Mars Girl and Shane. Interesting. Anyways, seriously, I would never go to an anime convention that has security as a premium more than their fans. Also, considering Homburg has made bad remarks about indigenous people, why is Shiroku-kan letting this man promote the convention? In addition, is Homburg on the committee? Is Homburg a chairman? Does Homburg have a contract with the convention? There are some of the questions I've asked myself, and if I were on the committee for the convention, I would not be allowing this man to promote the convention until further notice. I don't think you realize, didn't Shane say that this is like a convention that he's kind of starting and running? That's kind of, I'm pretty sure he tweeted that out. Didn't he say he was, it's something that he's helping to start? It's not like he's just promoting it. He's involved quite a lot. I can confirm, no matter how many times she tries to deny that she didn't like the tweet, that Monica Real liked a racist tweet. Has she apologized? Nope. Will she? Probably not. I understand that she is going through a tough situation with litigation. However, her actions will not be excused, period. An explanation is at the bottom of the op-ed. And I do think that's a good take, Sometimes you just got to own up to your mistakes. No excuses. And here's the quote. And at the end of the day, you cannot force people to join a side or instigate propaganda to win the court of public opinion. Finally, I want to introduce two women who have vocally denounced Vic and other bad people, but have some shady words for individuals on the fence or trying to get off the radar. Amanda Wynn Lee and Dominique Sky, the latter a professional cosplayer, the former a veteran actress who just loves herself and her. Can't say that. I'll start with Dominique Sky. The professional... Wait, why are we spending... What is this article? Why is it spending so much time on KickVic people? I'm actually a little confused here. Dominique, Amanda Wynn Lee. What else does it cover? I was undecided for a while. Finally convinced to join the movement after seeing the incredible work done by Greg. Oh my gosh. So we're going to be talking about him, TCPA stuff, and then kind of a wrap up. All right, so let's get back to where we left off. I'll start with Dominique Sky, the professional cosplayer, with quotes. Oof, that hurts, Dominique, who was recently suspended off Twitter despite having an alternate account, has been vocal in her displeasure of Vic, standing with the victims and, over the course of the situation, becoming one of the faces of this movement. As a result of her being vocal about the situation, she has been under constant pressure for various reasons on social media. I don't blame her for standing up for what she believes in. Her reactions throughout this ordeal, however, have caused me to question her behavior and shows a little insight about her personality and, quote, professionalism. From changing her name on Twitter to some meme nonsense, to her avatar, to even trolling fans, she has displayed not only immature behavior, but also shows that she is affected by the ways others treat her as well. In light of this, her behavior is unacceptable for someone who has close to 200,000 followers across various social media platforms. First of all, the follower count doesn't matter. If you're a despicable person, you are, okay? And also, how can you say that you honestly think that Dominique is indeed standing up for, the people that have been wronged? You see her actions, you see the stuff she says, and it clearly, in my opinion, paints a picture that she doesn't actually care about the stuff that she pretends she is. And that goes for pretty much everybody on KickVic. It's really weird, in my opinion, that this editor, this author, no offense to you if you're watching this, But it is strange to me, though. If you're watching this, it is strange to me that you see the flaws in these people, but you still believe that they are sincere in what they say that they're fighting for. Because let's be honest, I haven't seen even a very weak piece of evidence that supports that they actually do anything productive for society, to be honest, or help people at all. But continuing on. To make matters worse, in response to a fan trying to stay neutral and avoid any issues, she stated, "For the people involved, your commitment is insulting, especially in the face of the relentless things that we have been enduring from people on the other side. And supporters have had to endure that. So keep that dismissive mindset to yourself, and to be honest, neutrals." I don't know. There's some weird emojis here. It's hard to read. I think those are emojis Dominique probably tweeted or something. Now, I will agree, the fans who have done those bad things crossed the line many times. However, she could have handled the situation better instead of succumbing towards the fans' obnoxious and distasteful tactics. Also, as you will see with Amanda and Lee, you can't force people to choose a side in an issue they don't want to partake in. Let your actions do the talking, and before you start calling me insignificant names, just know at the end of the day you have more issues to worry about than me, especially when you have mental health issues. Take care of yourself before attacking me. Thanks, love. I agree with this part. That's very well said. Definitely agree with that. It's disgusting how Amanda has said some of the things that she has, and Dominique too. And trying to force neutral people to take a side is completely absurd. For Amanda Wynn Lee, a respected veteran in the voice acting industry, that's a reach. Her opinion matters. That's another reach. Anyone else and their opinion is thrown out the window. What? Anyone else and their opinion is thrown out the window? What do you mean? I don't know what they're getting at on that one. Are they saying that no one's opinion except Amanda matters in her mind or something? I don't know. However, her actions at present bring into question what she stands for. Her pinned tweet on Twitter is the following: "Hello, new followers. For the record, I support all kinds of buzzwords and other things. If you have a problem with any of this, do us a favor and F off now." But her profile picture is an illustrated female girl drinking what I presume to be coffee that says, F a monkey or something like that. That's weird. I don't know why she chose this as her avatar, but as an African-American male, along with a person who believes in animal rights, this doesn't look good on either end. Yeah, it's weird. And you definitely don't have an excuse to say it's funny or witty. I agree, because it's not. It's just weird. But if it was, a unicorn would be standing behind you, I would be richer than Jay-Z, and Vic would have his job back, much to the dismay of many individuals. Weird. Shows a picture of it there. Obviously, it's not in this archive link. On August 5th, Amanda stated, and by the way, if you're still undecided, then F you, #believe people, reference Amanda, link there. Since when can you individually force people into a situation? Since when did neutrality suddenly mean a person stands for something? According to an Oxford English dictionary, the literal definition of neutrality is an impartial or unbiased state or person, and or not supporting or helping either side in a conflict, disagreement, etc. I don't want to be more of a donkey, but I was undecided for a while, despite the fact that I was asking questions from the plaintiff's point of view, and even arguing with Shane Homburg and others. Well, that's not really going to accomplish much. I've never stood with Vic nor promoted Nick Ricada or other I Stand Vic propaganda during that time. Propaganda? What do you mean? I finally was convinced to join the movement after seeing the incredible work by Greg D. and the other 50 lawyers involved with this litigation. 50 lawyers, come on. Show me the 50 that are actually involved. Like, literally involved. Like, involved daily, right? Transcribing each motion and filing to make it easier to understand for many people. Also, standing with Vic means I'm standing with an individual who has committed, in my opinion, crimes, and to promote criminal activity, which I do not align myself with. What crimes? This is first of all not even a criminal litigation, so I'm curious, what crimes are you talking about? Your opinion, an opinion that's not actually backed by law, saying that Vic is a criminal? Like, that's not very fair. No matter how many times you want to attack and criticize me, that is who I am. For some individuals, it takes time to choose, and at the end of the day, you cannot force people to join a side or instigate propaganda to win the court of public opinion. That's not how it works. I want to know how you're defining propaganda, though. Why are you implying that propaganda is only on the Stand Vic side? Seems really, really biased. That's not how it works, i.e. America's entry into World War II. I thought the purpose of this movement was to... Wait, why did you just cite World War II here? Okay. I thought the purpose of this movement was to constitute a change for the better. Instead, I'm just seeing a live-action replay of the end of Paramount War from the hit anime One Piece. Constant fighting, constant bickering, constant turbulence, the want for more of it. A perfect example is when the TCPA is decided. The fans are going to riot if the results are not favorable. Funimation, the voice actors involved, alongside many other developing characters, are going to be brought into a bigger and brighter spotlight soon. Many questions will be asked and answered before the community, especially for Funimation and the defendants. It's one thing to stand for yourself and defend those in your inner circle, but what if the company you have worked for and trusted knew about the exact thing you were fighting against? That is where the real test will begin. I mean, you're putting a lot of faith in Funimation doing the right thing and these other VAs doing the right thing. Why do you think the real test begins there? The test has been going on. You realize that, right? This situation, there's implications throughout the coverage that these people have talked about this whole thing with Vic way back in summer of 2019. I'm sorry, summer 2018. Summer 2018, there's implications that there was a powwow. And some of these people had said this to Vic. I also believe, according to, if my memory serves me correctly, don't quote me on this, I'm not saying it as fact, but I do believe that Monica and Jamie, or one of the two, or both, did also mention that they brought this up to Vic and mentioned it to him. So Funimation absolutely should have known what was going on for quite a while. I disagree with the author here saying that this is where the real test will begin. This already happened. Funimation didn't do anything, and why didn't they do anything? Well, maybe there was nothing that Vic actually did. That could be. Or maybe he did something, but then why did they wait? They waited until it became a big enough issue to get rid of him, which is also a bad look for Funimation. So basically everything that the article wrote here isn't exactly wrong. However, it seems like they're not putting enough weight on what has already happened and what's currently happening. This stuff's already been happening. It doesn't matter if how the TCPA will play out. This stuff's already been happening. Continuing on. Now, that said, of course, the TCPAs matter greatly to the future of this litigation. It's hugely important. All I'm getting at is that this Funimation argument, they've already made it apparent that they didn't do anything for quite a while, at least in my opinion. The question is, what will we do about it? The KickVic movement, I believe, can change for the better. Instead of focusing on the negative people, personas, propaganda, and other things, we need to start focusing on our energy on the positive. Good luck turning a movement called KickVic into a positive thing. What can I do to make a change? What can I do to help? This is why I joined the movement. We should be discussing ways to improve relations within the community, not destroy it. I think this author means well, but I think they definitely don't understand what the bigger picture is here. Am I perfect? Heck no. Am I willing to change? Yes, I am. We all are human at the end of the day. We all are not perfect. This week, for instance, is a perfect example with the community misrepresenting a photo taken from 2008 OniCon charity event. We all come from different walks of life. We can all agree for the most part anime. Okay, if this person doesn't talk more about this Oni event, I'm going to talk about it more right now. We all come from different walks of life. We can all agree for the most part anime is one of many things that bring people together to celebrate what we can do. I believe we can do that. I believe we can be a cause of change for the better, but it has to start with us. We have to lead by example. Hate does not combat hate. This whole saga is a perfect example. If we can work together, we can accomplish anything we put our minds to. Words mean nothing without taking action. We all have to take the initiative to do better. Dude, you need to talk about all this with KickVic, man. No matter what, it starts with taking responsibility and righting our wrongs. Again, please talk to KickVic about that. Then as a whole, we can take the next steps and show others that we are truly a community. And that's that. So, yeah, I would love if you would have talked about the 08 thing much better. I mean, much more. Like, dude, just mentioning it here and not explaining what happened, this is a perfect example of why people despise the KickVic movement, right? Because this is reprehensible. They took something that was charity, something that was so kind, an amazing event that was successful, raised hundreds of dollars for charity, and left people feeling very happy about what they did. They took that, they slandered it, they brought innocent people into this, they brought a girl who hasn't had any involvement with the situation or the anime community for about 11 years, brought her into this out of nowhere, and made her very stressed out. She didn't enjoy that, having her name brought here, slandered, her picture used for lies. That warrants a lot more of a discussion than one sentence, in my opinion, man. And there's so many examples of KickVic doing stuff like that. If you talk about wanting to take action to make things better, start with your side, please. KickVic, because look at what they're doing. You bring it up. You talk about Amanda. You talk about Dominique in this article. You talk about some of the other reprehensible things from KickVic, but then you still choose to side with them and promote what they're doing. I just don't understand it at all. I really don't understand that one. It seems quite odd to me. I don't know. I would be interested in talking with this author, to be honest, to see more of their thoughts and all that. That would be quite interesting. I don't know. At the end of the day, you can stay on whatever side you'd like, of course. I just feel like with some of the stuff that this author has admitted and, you know, some of the things that they don't agree with is a perfect example of why they should question more so the actions of KickVic and maybe look into it more. Maybe they don't understand all of the things KickVic has done. Look into it. There's a lot of bad stuff there. You have some companies on KickVic that have literally broken the law to try to silence people. Broken the law. Show me where Vic has actually broken the law. I can show you where a company broke the law. And other things, for example, I can show you people on KickVic that have criminal offenses. Been caught. Actually charged. Not the same as Vic at all. Anyways, that's it for that article. If I was a bit rushed or a little off this video, it's because I actually have a stream with Not-A-Bug in less than 30 minutes, so I gotta hurry and get ready for that. Especially because we tried to stream together yesterday and we had so many technical issues. If you weren't there, be glad. But long story short, the viewers were waiting for literally like 40 minutes after the stream was supposed to start. 40 minutes. And Not-A-Bug and I were trying for almost an hour to get it to work. And 20 minutes before the show. And then I guess that would be about another 20 minutes after the start time or something like that. Like, oh my gosh, it was just crazy. So I'm a little bit, anxious to get the stream done today and done right. So again, sorry if I was a little off this video. And author, if you're reading this, all in all, an interesting article. Definitely interesting. One of the more unique approaches to an article covering the situation that I've seen. Seems like you are KickVic or neutral, but you at least explain why. Although I think your logic is very flawed, no offense. And if you want to talk about that some more, I might be open to it. If you want to email me at sendtohei, send2hey@gmail.com. Maybe we can talk about this some more and exchange some thoughts, you know? It's up to you. No pressure. Don't have to. And some shout outs for the wonderful people who helped promote my last video. That's Anime Tony and Skellikitty regarding the Homelander video. Certainly an off-topic one. Didn't think it would get a lot of views. I'm surprised it even got as many as it did. I'm glad, because I like that show a lot. It was a fun video to make. And now I'm going to wrap this one up and hit up Not-A-Bug and get ready for the show. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Shouts out to the viewers, you guys. Shouts out to the patrons. And, of course, also the Discord server, which you can join. Link in the description. And Teespring and Patreon links below as well. All that good stuff down there. If you would take a look and give this video a thumbs up, a share, all that jazz. It helps out. Certainly does. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you next time.